Hi class, today we are on Saxon Math Book 3, Lesson 90, and this is our second part of equal group stories or word problems. So I'm going to move over here so you can see my board. If you recall from the last time we talked about this concept, we've got three different numbers involved in an equal group story. We've got a total, we've got the number of groups, and we've got the number in each group. Well, there's two ways we can solve this problem depending on what information is given to us versus what information we need to find. So I've got those two ways written up here on the board. Both of them start with the total. So we're going to take the total number of whatever it is we're talking about, total number of students, total number of trees or apples or desks or whatever that may be, our total. How many do we have in all? The first way we can solve it is take the total and divide it by the number of groups. If we do it that way, what we're going to find is the number in each group. So let's say I have 24 students and I split them up into three groups. If I divide 24 divided by the three groups, my answer is going to give me how many students are in each group. In this example, it would be 8 students are in each group. So that's my answer over there, number in each group. The second way we could solve it is I know I have 24 students, and maybe the problem says the 24 students were split into groups of 8. So this second strategy takes the total, divides by the number in each group, and then when I get my answer, I'm going to have the number of groups. So if I have 24 students, they were split into groups of 8, that would mean I have 3 total groups. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So let's use these formulas, these equations, to answer some practice problems. 28 children are going on a field trip. 7 cars are available to drive the children. If the children are divided into equal groups, how many children will ride in each car? So either way, remember we want to start with our total. What's our total? 28 children. 28 children are going to be divided equally into 7 cars. So here the 7, that is our number of groups, like the first one up there. So when we do this division problem, we are going to find the number of students in each group, which is a good thing because the question says, how many children will ride in each car? So we have to figure out what is 28 divided by 7. You can use your multiplication table like we did in yesterday's lesson. Or if you have your multiplication facts memorized, I think the best way to figure this out is to use those fact families and say 7 times what number is going to give me 28? 7 times, if I don't have my fact families memorized, I could count by 7s and see how many groups it takes me to get to 28. So 7, 14, 21, 28. It took me 4 groups of 7 to get to 28. So 28 divided by 7 is 4. But this is a word problem, so we need to say 4 students, 4 children, 4 kids, however you write it out. 4 people are riding in each car, or 4 kids, so probably there's going to be a grown-up too. But the question only asked about the students. All right, our next example says 24 people are coming to a party. They will sit at tables that will seat 4 people. How many tables will be needed to seat them all? So, how many people are coming to the party? 24. That's our total, the number that we start with. We're going to divide that by, the question says, each table will seat 4 people. So that's going to be the number in each group. Each table seats 4. So when we find our answer, we're going to know the number of groups, which in this case is how many tables do we need? 24 divided by 4. What number times 4 equals 24? Let's count by 4s to figure it out. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So what number times 4? 6, which means 24 divided by 4 equals 6. 6 what? 6 tables is what we need for this problem. So there were only 2 examples here. However, we have 2 more problems, which is the lesson practice. I'm going to read it to you. I want you to set up an equation using the information that's on the board behind me. Set up your equation, and then we'll talk about the answer together. So let me come over here so that you guys can see what's on the board there. Problem A. Sylvester has 40 pennies. He puts them in stacks with 5 pennies in each stack. How many stacks does he make? I'll read it again. Sylvester has 40 pennies. He puts them in stacks with 5 pennies in each stack. How many stacks does he make? Decide how you're going to set that up. Hit pause right now so that you can try to solve it on your own, and then come back when you're ready to see the answer. Okay, so Sylvester had 40 pennies. That's his total. That's the number we're going to start with. He had 40 pennies. He is dividing them into stacks with 5 pennies in each stack. So we want to do 40 divided by 5. And in order to answer this, we want to think, what number times 5 equals 40? So we can count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. What number times 5? 8. So 40 divided by 5 is 8. 8 elephants? No, 8 stacks of pennies. So we can just say 8 stacks, like that. All right, the last problem says there are 30 desks in the room. The teacher wants to arrange the desks in 6 equal rows. How many desks will be in each row? There are 30 desks in the room. The teacher wants to arrange the desks in 6 equal rows. How many desks will be in each row? Pause it so you can figure that out on your own, and then come back when you're ready to see the answer. There are 30 total desks. So we're going to start with 30. Divided by, she wants 6 rows. So 30 divided by 6. What number times 6 gives me 30? Count by 6s. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. 5 times 6 equals 30. So 5 what? 5 desks. Just like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to do your written practice, which begins on page 488 of your textbook. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.